The Last Salute on Bear Creek Ridge. High in the folds of the Appalachian Mountains, where mist clings to the hollows and memory lingers in the pines, there once stood a little community called Bear Creek Ridge. It wasn't much to look at. A schoolhouse, a one-room church, and a scatter of log cabins that had seen more winters than paint. But to the people who lived there, it was home. Hard-earned, hand-built, and held together by faith and grit. Among them was a man named Elias McCray, a Civil War veteran. He was a quiet soul, the kind that spoke little but carried much. His left leg dragged slightly when he walked, and he wore his blue Union jacket even in the summer, the buttons dulled from years of wear, but still polished by pride. To the children, he was just Old Soldier Eli. To the men, he was the living proof of what sacrifice looked like. But most of all, he was their reminder that freedom wasn't free. It was paid for in blood and carried home in silence. Every Veterans Day, though they didn't call it that back then, the people of Bear Creek gathered at the old churchyard. The war had ended years ago, but its echoes still rolled through those hills like distant thunder. One November morning, with frost silvering the grass and smoke rising from chimneys, Elias McCray walked to the front of the congregation. He stood beside the wooden cross that marked the graves of the boys who never came back. He took off his hat, gray hair wild in the mountain wind, and said, "I wasn't the bravest. I wasn't the smartest. But I was there." He paused, his voice trembling. "And I reckon that's what honor means. Not being fearless, but being faithful." The crowd was still. Even the wind seemed to hush. He went on. "When the shells fell and the smoke was thick, it wasn't flags or speeches that kept us going. It was thinking of this, of home, of mamas praying, of little ones waiting, of the hills that never stopped calling us back." He reached into his coat and pulled out a small scrap of cloth, torn, tattered, and beaded. It was a corner of the American flag he'd carried since the Battle of Shiloh. "Found this in the mud," he said softly. "Figured it didn't belong there." When he finished speaking, the old church bell rang. Not for war, but for remembrance. Not for mourning, but for gratitude. And as the people of Bear Creek bowed their heads, the morning sun broke through the fog, falling on that worn scrap of flag like a beam of heaven's own light. Elias McCray died the next spring. They buried him on the ridge overlooking the valley, where you could see the sun rise over the Blue Ridge and hear the river's song below. And every year since, on that same November morning, the people of Bear Creek climb the hill and stand by his grave. No band, no parade, just the sound of the wind through the pines and the echo of a promise he once made. Freedom ain't a word to be spoken loud. It's a life to be lived quiet, steady, and true. So today, we honor men like Elias McCray, the sons of Appalachia, who left the safety of their hollers to fight for a country that was still learning what freedom meant. They didn't do it for medals or headlines. They did it for the land under their boots, the kin in their prayers, and the flag they refused to let fall in the mud. Let us remember that patriotism is not about noise, but about devotion. That bravery is not born of glory, but of duty. And that the truest battles are often fought long after the war, in the quiet keeping of faith, family, and freedom. Closing now, when you stand this Veterans Day, whether in a city square or on a mountain ridge, remember the old soldier from Bear Creek and whisper the words he lived by. Not fearless, but faithful. May we be found the same. God bless our veterans, and God bless the United States of America.